Konnichiwa, Yu desu.
ダメだよ。
Alright, so let's continue to talk about the rhythm of the conversation in Tokyo and Osaka.
So in Tokyo, it's really important. I say that many times, but it's really important to be polite. So we try to make it like a kind of compliment each other. Like if I say, "Oh, you're doing this so great," and the other person, "Oh, but you're doing that great too," and also we can make conversation like nicely, happily, and but it doesn't have to be so meaningful. It doesn't have to have a meaning of the conversation. We just make conversation to just chat, have fun, and then feel good at each other.
Yes.
But if like my friend says something that I don't agree on, I'm like, oh, so nanda. Like, oh, okay, that's how you feel. Like, you don't have to say yes, but you also don't have to say no.
Yeah, sonanda is very useful word because you're acknowledging of what the other person's saying and you understand it, but not necessarily agreeing. You said, okay, I got it.
Yeah, like oh, okay, that's how you feel. Like, okay, that's how you do things. But doesn't necessarily mean we agree to that. Yeah.
So in Osaka, we use the word like sonanya in the same way, but I feel like we need more out of a conversation because if you keep agreeing and adding to it, it's just the conversation goes, I don't know, flat.
You kind of like just kind of like shallow conversation, like it's there, and then you get like nothing.
Yes. So our Osaka's principle is this: boke to tsukkomi. To is and, so it's boke tsukkomi, which means I think I said earlier in like a few lessons ago. I said Osaka is known to be the place for comedians. So we have a lot of funny people, and it's their rule of the conversation. Boke is basically you are creating a hole in a conversation so that the other person can just tsukkomi means to like go in and push. So the other person can just go in there and say yes or no, and usually like make it funny. So it's for us, it's important to keep the conversation going, funnier, more interesting. Just going up and up, and we're just building up on each other. I don't want to feel offended or us being rude when we use the word like "honma," it's like really, or "nande yanen," like what?
Why?
Yeah, why or what the. Homa nande yanen. What else? Akanyan. Like, what are you doing? What you doing? In a way that's we're not blaming you unless it's a real situation, but we're saying that we're just making it sort of funny to giving you the biggest reaction that I can give you.
So like in Tokyo, we use this word a lot, kuki yomenai. It's pretty much translated, you cannot read the air. So weird. But it's not like actual air, it's just like a
atmosphere,
feeling, atmosphere. So if you're talking about something and the other person's throwing the idea, trying to be funny or like, whatever the reason is, and then we'd be like, that person kuki yomenai.
Yeah.
Like,
the person is kind of breaking the flow of the...
Yeah, because we are just trying to make like a nicely conversation. Everything's going fine, but the other person throw in like some like weird punch in the conversation, and we're like, what? So if someone's really, really funny, that person's considered a funny person, so that's okay. But if that person's not that funny, because everyone has a different, feeling towards comedy, like what's funny to you is different. but like they're like really famous comedian. If he says something, and we would laugh. But if someone that's not that good at comedy timing and just throw any idea, and we would be just like, what did you just say? ごめんなさい Also like a 空気読めない that happens like when you make like offensive jokes, I think.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the time like that's what you need to be careful. Case like too much sexual jokes or body shape or racial jokes. It could be okay, you know, it could be funny, but you have to be careful of who you are making jokes to. If it's like a best friend, like we know each other, okay, we are Asian, we can make Asian jokes fine, right?
Yeah.
But let's say like we met this American, like completely Caucasian guy, we make fun of like rice jokes, Asian jokes, and then we'd be like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
And yes. And
it's offensive.
Yeah. It's same everywhere. Even if it's in Osaka, there is a line you cannot cross. Even if you think it's funny, like she said, racial jokes, like a personal, like attack almost.
Like your family jokes,
Your
like,
family jokes.
Only person making joke of your family is your family, yourself, or like your really close friends. It can't be like outside of making jokes of your like family business or something.
Yeah, and us in general, like Japanese people, we try to be polite, so we might just laugh along or try to let you know that it wasn't very funny. In a very polite way. We rarely get mad just because somebody's trying to make a joke.
That's like that time I would just say like, oh, 本当に like, oh, really, you did that kind of sense, like, like also like, oh, really, you think that way? That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But then after that person's gone, we'd be like, oh, he or she is a 空気読めないよね.
Even in Osaka too, if you are making jokes sort of out of place and make people go, huh? Instead of laughing, that's not good. That's why I think we grow up listening to those comedians talk on TV, and our regular conversation is more like boke tsukkomi, like comedy. So we are trained, and you have to be good at it. So that's how we were sort of trained. My niece and nephew, they're like what, 5 years old, 4 years old. As soon as they start speaking, their conversation is boke tsukkomi. When I go home, like when I do something sort of silly, my niece is like, "You-chan akan yan." It's like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." It's just that's starts when you were
it's not considered rude at all.
No, not at all. It's just a friendly, loving way of
but if you feel like what the hell are you doing in Tokyo, like 5 years old say that to me, I'd be like, oh my god, you need to educate your kids. Like what is wrong with this little one?
I don't want to use this word, but we say oba-chan.
Come here.
Sorry if we're gonna say that. In Osaka, we use the word oba-chan. Oba-chan means, dictionary would say aunt, right? Aunt. But in reality, oba-chan could be just a middle-aged woman, and not in a very classy way. Oba-chan, like, middle-aged woman on the street, or not on the street, but
on the street.
On the street. What I'm saying is like not.
But they like to chat on the street.
Yes, they do. Yes, they love to chat, and yes, women in all over the world, they tend to chat a lot. Not as much as Osaka oba-chan. They just keep going.
Yeah.
Yes, because on top of being women, middle-aged, and being from Osaka, which means that we tend to carry on the conversation, like, go take it further, take it bigger. We love to develop the conversation in like a catchball, and we just go over and on. So if you get caught in a conversation, endless conversation with Osaka oba-chan, could be funny, could be just funny as hell. But if you need to get out, you have to be very clear. Otherwise, they'll just keep going on and on and on.
Making jokes is difficult. That's why Tokyo doesn't do it too much.
And Osaka people, we train ourselves every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's hard. It's hard.
It is.
Yes.
That's it for today.
All right. So I'll see you in the next lesson.
Bye.
Bye.